Alrighty, hey there everyone. Back yet again with some more hardcore Minecraft. Last time we finished up most, if not all, of the paths, and today here on day 800 that we're about to witness, yippee, look at that, day 800, we're actually going to go plant the damn trees, because I have not been doing that yet at all. First things first though, we've got a little bit of organizing and categorizing to do to get some of our extra stuff away here. And just checking out the iron farm. Looks like it's doing very well for itself. That's always nice. But yep, otherwise, let's go ahead and start getting all this extra stuff tucked away. And over the past couple of days, I've had a very cool thought of how I want to integrate the netherwood, because netherwood, it's from the nether. It doesn't exactly fit in too well with anything, right? It's a bit of an odd case. So, what I ended up realizing is that basically, since we can bone meal all of the warped and crimson nylium and all that kind of good stuff, on paper we should be able to just use that stone bit that we've had laying around. I'm like, oh, maybe I don't want to cover it. We'll replace all the bottom, actually, we'll probably replace all of it with stone, right? And then with that replaced, then we can bone meal in some warped and crimson nylium to spread all that around. And then that helps us get a hold of some of the fungus and stuff too. Oh, hey, this stuff's starting to oxidize kind of hard. That's cool. But yeah, with something like that, we should be able to make this look pretty good and actually have it make a good bit of sense. So that's what we're going to be doing first, and then we will be planting in the rest of the saplings as well. Just for now, I am in the middle of sorting everything away. Mainly just these last bits of stairs. Yep, back they go. Cool. Alright, cool. So let's go ahead and grab our shulker boxes full of saplings. What little we have of jungle apparently too, and acacia. Got some dark oak. We don't need bamboo obviously. We need the fungus, wart fungus, mangrove propagule, cherry saplings. Man, we are just running out of space here. Alright, well, I guess we can go ahead and tuck some of this extra stuff away here. And our pale oak sapling. So this will cover us on all different sapling types until the poplar trees come out. And that's going to be a little while because that won't be coming out for another couple months at least. So yeah, we will have to work on that at some point. I think in the meantime though, we're going to go ahead and just, take this obsidian. We should have some blaze powder so we can make some eyes of ender. Yep, there we go. Perfect. Here we go. One blaze powder. Cool, let's get some rods. There we go. Put that ender chest away. And we'll go ahead and craft up a couple extra. Since that's what we're going to need, we'll keep that out for right now. And we'll restock on ender pearls while we're here. There we go. Boom, quick and easy. It took maybe 4 minutes there, apparently, to get all of our stuff that we're going to need for today. Oh, except for the actual, I don't know, netherrack and nylium. That would probably help. But we'll take a box of netherrack, and it looks like we'll have none of the nylium for right now. So let's just, let's just keep it simple and go get all this into place. We'll worry about the rest a little later. Make a quick pit stop into the nether to grab some of the different nyliums. But otherwise, we can go ahead and just pop on down, see all of our path work that we've been doing, and right in here is where we're going to do this at, since this is all stone already. So the idea is this is all going to get replaced with netherrack, and we're going to go ahead and carve out as much as we can otherwise. And yeah, we'll place one of those. Grab an empty. There we go. Perfect. So what the plan is, I'll actually use my offhand for once. We're gonna replace every stone block with netherrack. And right now we're just kind of creating that dividing line. It'll help us do this a little bit better. There we go. You literally just spawned. You were definitely not here 3 seconds ago. Cool iron pickaxe, not useful for what I need, but you know, it's not that counts. Anyways, we'll kill those guys. Because we can. Put the extra leads away, and the leather. Gotta keep the leather. And yeah, you know, we'll just kind of take our time here and go nice and slow. Kind of knock up all this stuff. Not knock up, maybe that's not the right word, but we'll knock out all that grass there. That should be fine. It would probably be a little easier if I had like a haste 2 beacon. I'm not gonna worry about that. There's not really too much here that we have to cut out anyway, so. And I'm mainly doing the stone. The actual grass can stay intact. I don't have any issue with that, but the stone itself is just going to be completely replaced here. I'm going to try and keep the actual shape of this, so that's why we're going to go layer by layer here with our netherrack, and we're not going to just take out a bunch of things, you know. But yeah, if you bone meal warped or crimson nylium, then it will overwrite some of the netherrack, so that's why I got all that bone meal. So we'll plant some of that stuff in these netherrack patches, and then we'll kind of have it spread through, and then that gives us all the ground that we need to grow some trees and all that good stuff, and then we'll have the spot to be able to make more with some kind of bone meal farm or something. I don't know, we'll see, but we'll figure it out. Also not sure if I want to set up a nether portal here or anything. I don't really think I do. Wouldn't really be too useful since this is close enough in the overworld, and I don't really have anything I would need to import directly to here that I'd be like, yeah, you know, I gotta have another portal for this, so. I don't think I really want villagers in here since this is more for me to actually be able to, so it's a little different. Good start for that actual wall. And I don't think we really want to leave the grass in place. I know we definitely don't want to leave this exposed, so we're going to like this up. Pop on down to here. stupid deep cave. Cool. There we go. Oh, it's deep enough underground for there to be a spider, I guess. That's neat. Not that that's gonna matter, but hey, you know, is there? And yeah, I mean, otherwise, go ahead and, you know. We'll do a little something like that. Well, that's the rest of that shulker box, another right. We'll do that to there, why not? Alright, then we just gotta sit down and do the floor. That should be easy enough. And would be a lot quicker with a these two beacon, but that's fine. We don't really need it. Yeah, 800 days, only 200, well, technically 199 right now, but only 200 more days till day 1000. So we get to start thinking about that after all this time. I feel like I want to make a bigger push towards completing smaller projects to fill out my base a little bit more. So, like the chunk loader over the iron farm and that cloud, extending the top of the tower, maybe building a small village in front of my base and all that kind of good stuff. Making sure that we got enough like manual farms too that look aesthetically nice, things like that, you know. So that way we've actually got enough like physical things to show off for like 1000 days. And also maybe I could start filling in like the inside of my base, some of the more hollow bits that are under it. I feel like that should be another bigger goal for right now. Is that deep slate layer that I have that's like 50 blocks tall and it's this massive like 3 chunk by 3 chunk circle that isn't filled up with anything. I need to start putting stuff in there because it would be useful. Oh, between the fact that it would be useful and again it'll look good too when there's actual like things in there. I have to get the reason now. But we'll see. This will also be a nice spot for us to actually get some shroom lights too. Looking forward to that. There'll be a really nice light source block in there. Pretty much the only one I can just grow, you know. And they look pretty too. Always a plus. How we doing on Netherrack? Pretty good. We should have it. Just need to get that stuff. We'll leave all the grass intact. I mainly just wanted to focus on getting all this stuff switched out and around. So all the stone becomes netherrack, and then we can plant the trees based off of that. So that would be good. knew now we could make a simple jump. Really? Come on, man. Ah, whatever, fine. No parkour pro. They gotta make at least one reference to that on Minecraft Movie Squared, right? Surely. Gotta do something. If there's no Herobrine reference, I mean, come on, they are clearly fucking teasing a Herobrine reference. I'm just saying. It's gotta happen, and it should, goddammit. It would be really funny. Same deal with something like this. We'll light this up, and then we'll have this get covered. Alright, well, sure, that was weird. Luckily, we still got a whole shulker box of netherrack if we need it. I don't think we will, but hey, you know, we got it if we need it, so. There we go, do a little something like that. We should have enough netherrack here. I'll let that turn to dirt over time. Alright, well, we're almost done converting all this to netherrack. It only took like 20 minutes. Not too long, all things considered. Probably would have been a lot quicker to set up a beacon, but I'm not gonna. So that means I'd also have to take down the beacon, and I don't think I really give a shit, so, you know, it's fine. And a Nintendo Direct tomorrow, that'll be cool. Fortunately, I won't be able to watch it live, because of course it's the one day I actually do have to go in person, unfortunately, or something, so. Gonna be a bit lame, but I'm sure it'll be fine. Nothing you can't see after the fact, you know? But I digress. Maybe there will be Dokkan news, probably not. It would be kind of weird for that to be more of a focal point, I guess, but who knows, could be something. Guy's been like an absence of newsletter things. Alright, last little bit here. So now all the stone is netherrack, just how I wanted. Put the extra netherrack away. And we'll keep the extra regular stone. I'll get rid of the gravel though. Pick up whatever it is we got here, and then burn the stuff we don't need. And then this gets us set up nicely for all the other bits. Alright, cool. So coal ore, gravel, grass, all that crap, and these seeds. Alright, nice. I'll leave an ender chest here for right now. Otherwise, we'll go ahead and take all this stuff back to the base and go get this dropped off, and then we'll pop into the nether real quick, go get our orc blocks, and then we can go ahead and install those, get our trees planted, and yeah. And that little nether section should be more than plenty for both types of nether trees. So that means that out of the 12 currently, excuse me, are there 12 or there 11? Let me double check real quick. Let me see. Let's see here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, so there should be 12, including poplar. So right now, this very second, June 8th, 2026, there's only 11 types of wood that we're going to grow. 2 of them are nether, so at least 9. And yeah, we definitely have enough space for 9 types of wood, soon to be 10. So, because again, those other 2 are going to be in their own itty-bitty little area that we don't have to worry much about. And I guess we can just focus on getting this put away rather than sleeping, so it's not really too hard about that. Alright, what do we got? Netherrack there. Don't need this anymore. And stone. Those are glass. Stone's up top, ain't it? Yeah. Stone was out to another side. That's what it was. Hey, now we get an extra box. That's always good. That away there. And we'll go pop into our nether portal. Right after we sleep, though. Alright, cool. So we are popping into the nether just real quick. Quick little smash and grab. This will get us some warped and crimson nylium. Warped is going to be a little more annoying, but you know. Oh, apparently we triggered an endermite. How weird. Also went a little too far down. Actually, this should lead us down to lava, shouldn't it? Yes, I guess this is fine. There we go. Get our coordinate book, don't we? Yep, we do. About to say, if I had lost that or misplaced it before leaving and I couldn't find my way back, I'd be a little annoyed. We should maybe dig a hole through the bedrock at 0, 0, or like super duper close there, so that way if I ever do lose my way in the nether, I can just go to 0, 0, and I know I'll have a way back up to my main highway. I feel like that'd be a smart idea. But, you know, since it'd be a smart idea, probably we'll get around to it in a couple years or something. And we will see. Also see if we can get another fucking biome. Uh-oh. Nope, don't want to be here for that. I didn't know if any of them had swords. I do not want to deal with that if they do. Alright, but seriously though, nylium. Good old nylium. Really seeing a distinct lack of nylium. Actually found a damn bastion. Wonder if we've been to this one already. Let's have an exit strategy. I hear piglin snores, but I'm not seeing it. I'll take the snout trail, I guess. Nope, definitely not gotten yet. Free gold, you know I'm always gonna take free gold. Ah, here we go. Alright, good start. So we'll grab maybe like 3 stacks of warp dialing. We'll grab some of the fungus that's here too. And some of the weeping vines if we can get a hold of any. And bone meal the weeping vines too, so it's always good to have a couple of these. They're pretty nice in a pinch. And of course, the fungus. Can't forget about the fungus. Alright, so that puts us at 3 stacks, just where we want to be. That's great. Gonna make some space here. Cool. Alright, now all we need to do is let's take a little breather and go grab some extra fireworks because we are running a little low. In fact, we need to cook up a new batch again. It's been a hot minute since we've done that. And we are starting to run a little low here. Low enough that I'm a little concerned. Alright, okay. So, let's see here. Another bastion. I know it's one I haven't seen before either. But that's not what we're here for, and there's nothing left in there that's all too interesting, so... Like, obviously netherite stuff is always, you know, nice to get, like getting scrap or ancient debris or whole ingots, but it's, you know, it's whatever. It's not really needed. Kind of a sketchy area, and I know there's some crimson stuff closer to my actual base, but I just kind of flew in a bad direction. In fact, I keep freaking flying in a bad direction the whole damn time. I think we want to fly straight out this way. We make a couple of turns, but for the most part it was through open nether, so let's just kind of go back the way we came, right? About 1,200 blocks or so, and then we will double around to go see if we can find some crimson nylium. Just need a little crimson nylium. Doing good on elytra durability for now, but we do need to be a little careful. I'm sure we'll be fine. Probably. I mean, I haven't died yet, right? So, should be okay. I should also go cook up a stack of like golden apples for like emergency food. I definitely got the apples and gold for it now. I just need to actually sit down and make the. Ooh, okay, it's a wall. Hang on. Hold up. So that guy goes away. Second of all, let's go ahead and check our chords here real quick. 3017, negative 126. Double negative. Might have gone too deep trying to get into there. We should be very close to it though, within a couple hundred blocks. Yeah, I mean, we're near our gold farm beacon, so we really cannot be that far off. Let's not crash headfirst on one of these random floating blocks, so that'd be a little embarrassing. And there's our staircase, or one of our many staircases, so we gotta be kinda close. Yeah, there's our nether fortress. Okay. We'll go ahead and just pop right on out. There we go. Now, I wonder if that ender might despawn. Or he's still scuttling around. He's still scuttling around. He's probably scuttling around up there. Alright, well, I guess it's fine. Anyways, I haven't checked out this direction properly, so... But I'm pretty sure there's a Crimson Forest not too far away. At least there ought to be. Okay, seriously though, where the hell is it? I'm not flying for all that. Got another nether waste, but still no Crimson Forest. Oh, there we go. Just had to bitch about it again. It's all good. Okay. Okay, 3 stacks of this stuff. Actually, we're in a really stupid, inefficient spot to get a lot of this crap, but, you know, that's fine. I know we can get more just by bone milling, except for some brought it up, but that doesn't mean I just want to bone mill to get more, you know? I'd like to have enough at the start to be able to place down like a good chunk and not have to bone meal like every plant. And plus, if something happens and I've only got 5 blocks and we gotta fly all the way back out here to go get more, you know. But we will probably cut corners and like, you know, only go up to 2 stacks or something since we found a pretty small biome. Yeah, 2.5 stacks is fine. Yeah, we're basically at 3. I'm a little short here. Okay, that's fine. Let's get all this crap put away. There we go. Take that. Alright, cool. And now we get to fly right on back about 1,000 blocks. Let's see if we can make it back there in one piece. Sure hope we can, but we'll find out. And hell, just in the time it took me to say that, we're pretty much already back, you know, I mean, 200 blocks out or so, maybe another 100 or so. Can't be too bad. Any minute now. Oh, here we go. There's our blaze spawner. Yes, I mean, hey, we made it back. Alright, well, we'll go ahead and plant all this Nylium. It'd be pretty quick to do. Alright, cool. We'll take a quick minute to pop on bed. Probably go sleep in our bed. Yep, it is nighttime. Assume that was a happy gas making noise. I thought I heard a creeper take fall damage. Don't like that very much. Go, quick pop back into bed. See where our nether trees go. And boom, there we go. Okay. Let's go ahead and implant some of this. We'll take about a stack each. Kind of dot it around. Go. We'll do something like that. Gives us a nice dividing line. Do a little something like that. There we go, cool. And then now we get out our bone blocks and we make ourselves some bone meal. And okay, hypothetically, this stuff is supposed to spread. Oh, it has to be adjacent, so I need to bone meal the actual netherrack itself. Okay. That's fine though. There's a crap ton of particles though, I will say. Alright, and it looks like it's kind of starting to get a little infested here. Keep doing that by accident. There we go, much better. Alright, cool. There we go. rack out of bone meal. Alright. It's alright. We'll cook up a little bit more. Get some of this extra put away. Keep a little bit of netherrack though in case we make any more mistakes, which we will. That's alright. Part of life, you know. Things happen. See, like that, for example, that's no good. Got another good section done. Damn. Damn, I really keep doing that all the time. That's not cool. Need to get more bone meal. I have to make a pit stop for it, I guess. Maybe we'll have enough. It's not looking good though. Yep, just for now. Well dang. Hopefully we can, nah, I'd rather not use, the Nylium and all that stuff that we got right now. Just because it's a pain in my butt to actually carve all that out and make sure to replace it, so... oh, no, never mind, we had extra. We are gonna be good here in a moment. I really just don't know why I keep doing that. Only you could grow grass this way. That would be kind of cool, right? Then you'd actually be able to make, well, not renew grass because you can't make it out of nothing. You'd still have to have grass next to it, but it would still help with like sheep farms and things like that. That would be pretty neat. We got exact change. Nice. Alright, well there's all the bone meal. We'll keep the rest of this on hand for right now. But otherwise, this puts us in a pretty nice spot. That there. So now we've got a crimson and a warped bit that we can go ahead and use to grow some of the different fungi. We'll even just grow a couple here for right now, just for shits and giggles. Something like that. I'm kind of curious to see if they grow on their own or if I actually do have to bone meal all of them, so we're going to let these ones be. Okay, cool. So, let's see. In here, we've got some of our extra saplings that we want to grow. So let's start with oak and spruce. We've already got both of the fungi planted, so they're done. And we're going to go back to the starting point of all this and go plant our spruce. We can grow a bunch of 2x2 spruce trees up on that elevated bit. It's kind of the whole point of it being elevated, you know? That's why I designed it like that. That way, that should mitigate the podzol spread. Apparently, it can go up to 3 blocks up, but only 2 blocks down. And since these are all 3-block high walls on all sides, then hypothetically, we shouldn't have to worry about any issues here. So that's going to be pretty cool. We can get that one pulled off. We can sleep in the goddamn bed. There we go. Okay. Neat. Let's go ahead and pop on up into here. And I thought about putting like coarse dirt in some of these spots, but I think it's easier and a little bit more natural just to have it be relatively random, you know. So I'm not going to worry about any of that stuff. Also, don't think I really want the path curving up into here too much. More than I want this to just be a spot where I can grow a bunch of trees, you know. And that used up quite a lot of saplings already. And we'll put one more on the side there. Okay, so that was, and they do grow by themselves. Perfect. Well, seeing how that one grew, you can see it looks like it didn't cause any interference with any of the nearby grass. Just turned all the podzol or grass up top into podzol, but it didn't find its way down, which is obviously really good and just what we want. That's nice. It's not nice for these guys. They're going away. Here we go. All right. And sand deal will kind of dot around a couple of ender chests and crafting tables. Because we're nice like that. Okay, so spruce is done. We're going to work our way backwards out from these corners here. And I want to do a large chunk of oak. And yeah, I mean, like, once you get down too far, it gets a little bit too steep, so, you know, we're not going to do it on, like, every available surface, just most of them. Okay, there we go. So it's something like this. This will give us enough trees here. Hey, they're starting to grow. Cool. Alright, cool. That should be a nice amount of oak there, so not too bad about that. We'll keep the rest of the oak saplings for safekeeping. Alright, so then we got warped and crimson fungus. So all the funguses are fungi, and then we've got some of our weirder ones that we need to do. I think birch and dark oak are going to be up next. Oh wow, the top part of my base, looking at the stream footage, because it's a little bit delayed on my end. The top part of my base has to actually like phase into existence, so it's not even all loaded. It like noticeably snaps in. That's cool. Just interesting. Not really a bad issue or anything. Just kind of interesting. But anyways, I think we'll do birch up in here. Try and go through this whole stack of saplings here. And we'll carve away all these wildflowers in the meantime. I'm gonna need to burn a lot of these too. Okay, we have a pillager patrol just hanging out here now. Do it. Told you not to do it. And what'd you do? I did it. We'll probably move the birch line back a little bit. Because some of these spaces are so large, there's no point in like making this entire section out of birch. Instead, we should try and mix in a couple other tree types throughout all this stuff. Here we go. So we got a nice little birch field. Alright, so we got acacia, pale oak, cherry, mangrove, and jungle, not to mention dark oak as well. So, yeah. Got a lot of space to work with here. Oh, just got a birch tree. Cool. Now, unfortunately, we might have gone a little crazy with the amount of paths that we've made, like so much so that there's, okay, we fit so many tree types up into there and like our little nether bit out in that direction that like there is no shot in hell that all of this is going to be different tree types. At least probably not. I mean, it'll expand out a good bit, and I guess we'll just kind of work on slowly expanding the forest over time as we run out of saplings and we find like better spots to grow. But for the most part, we kind of can keep a lot of this stuff pretty close together, I feel. So yeah, we'll just kind of see what happens. Let's get our bed out though, real quick. Day 805. Getting there. It's been almost an hour too, so we've just been running around planting trees for a hot second here. Now, just as a reminder, we do want to keep some of this like untouched. Like this is a little bit too slopey and it starts going down. Same deal here. I don't really want to plant a lot of stuff on these edges. Maybe I'll do bamboo as more decoration to help kind of cover up some of this stuff. And this does look like it needs to be bone mealed. But otherwise, you know, we have plenty of flat space where we can just plant down a bunch of trees. Which should be good. Here we go. We're actually out of dark oak here, so this would be a great time to plant in some pale oak. Ain't got a whole lot of pale oak, but that's fine. Yeah, not a whole lot of pale oak. We'll try and fill probably up to about here with pale oak, I would say. Be a good little bit. We'll expand that out over time too. So yeah, we've got most of the wood covered in here. And otherwise we got a shit ton of space out in both directions. And then we've got cherry. Cherry will be our next one because mangrove, jungle, and acacia are unique cases because we don't really have a lot of them. So we're not going to be able to grow a whole lot. Cherry. Feeling like cherry would be good there. That was a whole lot of trees that just grew up once. It's kind of odd. I'm sure things are going to be changed over time too, as I keep kind of figuring out what really works and what doesn't. Just thinking off the top of my head, I kind of want to group some trees together a little bit better. So I don't know how to explain this other than thinking about natural Minecraft forests, right? Birch and oak commonly seen together. Spruce and or dark oak are mixed in among some of those sometimes. Uh, but you don't ever see like jungle and spruce together, right? Or like acacia and spruce. Like you've got hot trees, and you've got like moderate to cold trees, temperature wise, right? So with something like that, you've got your cold trees up near like the peaks of all this stuff, right? And then maybe you'll have your spruces up there, your dark oaks kind of in the field around it, and your pale oaks as well. Um, and then your birch and oak is like a temperate, moderate buffer. And then as you get farther down or into some more secluded areas, maybe I'll make them feel drier slash more deserty. Especially as you get to near like the hot stuff here, they can be a little bit drier. No, because that's too close to water. But you get my point. They can be a little drier in some spots, so that way I can justify jungles, acacia, and that third one that I forget, mangrove trees. You know, I don't know. It makes sense to me. I know what I want out of it. Makes sense to me, but actually doing it kind of a whole nother story. It could also be cool to have like one of every tree kind of surrounding this pond. We'll come back to that idea a little later, but I don't know, just having a nice chunk of the different trees going through everything could be interesting. And we'll have decorative trees in some of these parts. Like I think having a nice canopy of like cherry trees that kind of leads into like this part here with the pond, and then the pond is like covered in fairly dense, especially once poplar trees exist, could be really interesting. But that's more of a later thing, like a couple months later kind of thing, because poplar trees aren't coming out for a while. So bit of a shame, but hey, you know, it is what it is. Anyways, we still have a bunch of cherry trees that we gotta go plant. I guess here is as good a place as any. Kind of have it border up against some of the birch trees. Here we go. It's another stack of saplings down. Cool. That gets us covered on cherry. Still leaving these dark oaks to grow in. And yeah, I mean, otherwise we've got a couple other tree types we can grow, but are kind of running out. And we're gonna toss all these wildflowers out. I don't really give a shit about these. I got too many as is, so cherry trees can come back with me. We'll take these back for dark oak and pale. Alright, cool. So yeah, now all we got is jungle, acacia, and mangrove. And we will have grown like all the different trees, which is pretty cool. So I guess which one do we want to do next, and where do we want to do this next? Still want to leave that for pale oak. I guess we could plant some jungle kind of like up in here since it's gonna be pretty sparsely needed if I'm gonna be real. Like seriously, when the actual hell am I ever gonna use jungle wood for anything ever, you know? So yeah, we'll just plant one of those there. Alright, that's cool. My audio decided it want to cut out again. That's nice. Great. And now it didn't fucking cut back in. That's good. Great. So let me see here. I want to see if I can fix this. Hmm. Am I gonna actually have to do this? I think I am. Well, damn it, man. Let me see something real quick. 1 second. Okay, well, that got the audio. Oh, wait, hang on. Ah, hey, what do you know? That did fix it. Cool. So sometimes my headphone cable just decides it wants to give up, and I don't really know why. And I've determined it's not the cable more so than it is the actual port on my headphones, which is just as frustrating. So that's fun. So yay, I get to figure that one out one of these days. And you know, I mean, we'll plant some stairs there or something. We'll do a little something like that, and then slip some of that there. All right. And then as this grows up, we'll get more saplings that we can kind of speckle across this for a little bit. That should get us a little bit more jungle. And then we got some space a little bit farther down for the remaining woods. Mangrove and acacia. Cool. Mangrove is particularly annoying. Like, I want that to be basically in the middle of nowhere where I don't have to look at it because it just does not go anywhere good. Plant like acacia here or something. This is a nice strip that should be okay. Oh, this might be more of a flower field kind of decorative strip. We'll leave it here for now. You know, it's not like I plant a section and that's it. That's where that section lives forever, you know? You can grow it wherever we want, but we should try and have some of this stuff mapped out a little bit at least. And mangrove makes sense down by the water. So there's a good chance that what we'll go ahead and do is we'll basically just carve a path going straight through. And once we get this path straight through, as we get closer to the riverbank, we'll have some mangrove or something. I think that'd be a good idea. There we go. Get all this cut out a little bit. So we'll let those leaves decay, and then basically we have a path going down to the river. It's always nice. And, you know, we'll have it go up to like the foot of the river here. There we go. So we'll do a little something like that. Just because we can. And we'll toss out some of this extra crap that we don't really need. We'll do that for now. We'll let this stuff decay over time. But yeah, that'll get us enough space near the water for some profit mules, which these are always kind of funky because we can also grow them in the water too, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if there's a particular benefit to doing that, but we'll have it grow near the water for right now. And then we'll have a couple in the water over time as we start filling that up more. But with that done, we've got easy access to all the different wood types. So over enough time, they should just kind of grow. And, well, except for the nether trees, of course, those we have the bone meal. But, you know, we'll still be able to get those too in a nice, like, patch. But yeah, we have a lot of extra space, so over time these forests are going to expand so they each take over like a much larger slice of what they currently have. But based on what I have right now, that's kind of our natural limit of how much we can grow, you know? There's nothing wrong with it, it's just what it is, you know? Oh, just using wildflowers on top of leaf litter just immediately deletes it. That's kind of interesting. Not really useful, I guess, but hey, you never know. And you can't place it on path blocks. Which that makes sense. Just figured I'd double check while I'm in the neighborhood. Alright. Well, yeah, and then of course we got all this free space too. We got stuff near this ravine. Probably not a whole lot to do down here except for maybe like flood this thing, but I don't think that's a particularly good idea either, so I'm not gonna do that. And that would take a lot more effort too. But really, no payoff, so yeah, not cool. That's alright. Alright, there we go. Toss the rest of that out. Otherwise, our flower trail is fully done. We've got space galore for like a really large area. Like seriously, if we run out of space here, we're doing something wrong. But we've got so much space, we can leave a lot of the natural mountain. We might even cover the mountain with like a bunch of flowers and too tall flowers, just because we can do that. But who knows? Also take a minute to cut down this acacia tree. There we go, nice and easy. And from one sapling, we now have 7. So hey, not bad. And we'll plant a couple more. There we go. Very nice. Doesn't look like that jungle tree's grown yet. That's alright. Pretty much everything else everywhere else is grown too, so yeah, not a whole lot left for us to do unless we want to start bone mealing everything by hand. Which we can do, don't get me wrong. I just would really prefer to right this second. Alright, there we go. And we'll put the grass in here. Let's also just take a minute to just admire what we've done so far today. So today there were no trees, and now there's a lot of trees, and it actually looks pretty damn good, I would say. Not bad. Especially when they're more like filled in and they're fuller. Like I really love the contrast between the birch and the cherry. That looks really nice. So yeah, we're definitely gonna need some trees here in the near future. And then as we fill out the dark oak, it'll feel even better too. But yeah, that's really good, and that's what I'm aiming for with that kind of like denseness, that kind of density, you know? Good stuff. Well, let's see. Right, well, fair enough. We'll just take some time to bone meal some of this, because we can. Some of these are just one taps because they've been sitting out for so long, I guess. They don't grow by themselves, they do need a little nudge, but the nudge they need is very little, it looks like, so that's good. What the fuck? What the hell? That is so weird. I have never seen that happen. There's some kind of X-ray glitch, I guess, if you bone meal a crimson tree, but only sometimes? What the fuck? Okay, that fixed it. That was so weird. I have never seen that. That's cool. Alright, well, we got those all grown up. It didn't even take a stack to do all that, so that's neat. That is so weird. Not seen that before. Alright. Back out we go into the world. Let's see if we can't land somewhere like here. Yeah, I mean, hey, it's a good bit of trees, you know? I wish we were up a little bit taller so we could get a better angle, but we'll have to build something up for that one of these days. Not bad, yeah. So again, you can see how we're gonna have to actually fill up a lot of space, but at least we do have a lot of space to fill up, so can't complain too much about that. We got a couple sets of tall trees that don't want to grow, it seems, right? And again, don't know if I really want to carve a path like going through. I might, just that way it's not super densely like populated, but it seems like it would be a little bit of a waste. Otherwise, yeah, the rest of these will just kind of grow on their own over time. Except for the mangrove tree, because maybe that needs to be submerged in water for it to grow. Also might just be too far away from everything for it to adequately grow, so we'll see what happens. I could always just grow a bunch in that pond there, too. That might also be a good idea. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. We'll grow a nice little chunk in there as well. But at least these ones on the riverbank, they'll be a lot closer to my house, so they're more likely to grow if they actually are supposed to grow without player intervention. So that'll be neat. But yeah, otherwise, you know, we've got some flat areas that we can do. Um, I know I want to do something with some more of these steep bits, but honestly, I can't really tell you what that's gonna look like right now, you know? Because when it's too steep, no trees. Like, no trees there, no trees anywhere. Don't want to just plant bamboo. Could install some water features maybe. Like, maybe we have a waterfall that flows down into this cave or something and floods it a little bit. I don't know. But we do need some kind of contrast. Um, we could maybe build up some stony cliffs or something to help provide a different color against the brown, but that's pretty much as far as that thought goes in my head right now. Couldn't tell you at the moment. What I can tell you though is we're gonna make a trip to the gold farm, not just for the gold, but also for the XP because our Electra is getting a little weak here. This is one of like 30, so we don't even need to use this one, but I'm also kind of due for my tools as well. And hey, you know, now's as good a time as any to go get these fixed, right? Might as well. Gold farm. Always forget where this is. Where are we headed? 2037, positive 97. We go double positive. And we should be coming up on it here momentarily. Here we are. Alright, cool. I have to wait a little bit for stuff to flow through. Here we go. It's also just a good time to get more gold in general for building and golden apples, so. Might get a little loud. My armor stand got knocked back there. That's weird. And not good. I think a spear guy hit it. Alright, well, that fixes up all of our tools. That's always nice. Except for our hoe. Now our hoe's fixed up. Alright, we'll go for another 5 minutes here. Damn, it is hot today, man. It has been 95 like the entire day. It's brutal. Maybe we should hatch some sea turtles near that larger lake that we have. It could be a good idea. Just in case we need more turtle eggs or something. Alright, well, only 2 more minutes of fun. And again, I don't really want to use an autoclicker for a lot of this kind of stuff. I don't particularly like it. I don't want to AFK at something like this either, because as soon as I do AFK, something bad will happen. So, if you're ever seeing me farm anything, I'm the guy farming it. I'm sitting right here. Unless it's something fully AFKable that doesn't require me to click. And even then, I'll step away to, like, protect my door or something. But, I don't know. I don't really like the idea of just, like, leaving the world open for like 30 hours or something like that to go AFK a bunch of resources. That's why most of my farms are built around my base, or they can be chunk loaded. So when we get a couple that aren't chunk loaded or anything like that, and it gets a little annoying. Oh, 1 more minute. Plus, I don't know, there's just something cool about being able to look through and see, like, this is what a full 1,000, like, day Minecraft looks like, you know? Like, every single VOD is in my YouTube channel on, like, a playlist sorted by, like, order. There might be a couple of the earlier ones that are slightly out of order, but for the most part, they should all line up pretty well. I just haven't taken the time on some of those older ones to really, like, sit down and scrub through them. I did for the most part. I was able to piece them together, but I only started numbering these, like, in the description by, like, part 30 or 40 or something like that. I should have been doing from the start, but hey, the more you learn, right? Alright, well, minute's coming up here. We can just go until we're, like, level 150. Actually, no, we'll be level 150 regardless, so let's just get out of here. Alright, let's get the hell out of here. Alright, cool, and there goes all the XP. Alright, we'll go ahead and let all that get accumulated. In the meantime, all this stuff can just get the hell out of my inventory. Gold blocks can go in there. Yeah, that'll happen from time to time. Best not to think about it. on gold. Doing pretty good. We should start running out though by now. So yeah, about 5 minutes of farming will get you 3 stacks of gold blocks, which, hey, that's pretty good. You get a whole beacon's worth in like 5 minutes, so you can't really complain too much about that. Although we don't really use this gold for like beacon stuff. We can if we really need it, but for the most part I tend to not do that. But it does look like we are out here. That should be all of it. Minus some of these extra bits that we have. Alright, cool. There we go. It's almost 3 stacks of gold blocks. Pretty neat. This was kind of curious if that would actually be effective. Yeah, it is. And since I don't take any armor damage, I guess it's fine. God damn. Alright, should be almost out. Any day now. Okay, there we go. I got rid of all the XP, that's great. And now we can glide the hell out of here. So that's another 3 stacks of gold blocks we can go put in the vault. Maybe we could make an actual separate vault, that would be kind of cool. I don't know, we'll see. I do know we want to go get all this stuff put away though real quick. Alright, a little bit higher. There we go. Perfect. Alright, we got a good chunk of gold blocks there. We got 5, almost 6 stacks of gold blocks. I think if I want to build the sphere as large as I want for the pommel up here at the top, I need to get like about a shulker box's worth, so we're not out of the woods yet, but we are getting kind of close, so that'll be good. We'll need to build this up eventually too more. I need to really go get some calcite. And again, this is as far as the water elevator is going to go. I don't see any value in really raising it. I'll have like some kind of central staircase or something, but for the most part, this could be kind of a room, some kind of room or something where I can have a couple of extra things. And then otherwise, I want some kind of spiral staircase, either coming straight up through the center and going up to the top, which I don't particularly feel great about because then it would block the sunlight coming in all the way down here, or unless I made the whole thing out of glass itself too, which I could do, there's nothing wrong with that, but without slabs, having a staircase like that's kind of weird and dumb. Or alternatively, I could just like wall all of this off and then have like a larger spiral made out of glass going all the way up and around, because at least then I'll have like speed and jump boost or whatever. Maybe I'll input a couple of slabs to make the climb a little bit smoother. I think that's what I'll probably do. Yeah, that's what I'll probably do. Okay, well, we'll leave that for another time though, because I don't want to do that today. It doesn't mesh well with a lot of the other stuff I'm working on. And yeah, same deal, still have a little bit of a snow problem, but not really much of a problem, I guess I would say. What I will say though is we are going to yank out all of these trees so we can not only have their wood, but we can also repurchase this land in the near future, because this land kind of isn't really worth anything anymore, or at least not for tree farming, so now that we have our forest. And we need to make sure we kind of do this in a bit of a smart way, so what we're going to go ahead and do is pop on up to the top, and we'll just dig out this entire top layer of leaves to get as much of this shaved off the top as we can. And then that'll just leave us with most of the stumps that we have to carve out by hand. I also wish dispensers could plant saplings or something, you know? I feel like that could be cool. Or maybe even like farmer villagers could plant, well, I don't know if I'd want them to plant saplings, but I don't know, maybe that could be a good idea. But I want an automatic way to plant saplings because then you could automate like all the different tree farms a lot better. They would be fully AFKable. So like they'd be fully AFKable with TNT duping, but like if you're willing to accept a little bit of lastage, you could probably use like Wither Skull explosions to blow up the wood and actually have a decent chunk of it funnel out, which would be really interesting. So I don't know. Just a bucket list item with renewable sand. I mean, everybody wants renewable sand though, but there's just still not a particularly great way to get a bunch of wood without just planting all the trees and mounting them all out by hand if you don't want to use any kind of exploit or anything like that. Or TNT duping. Use TNT duping. You can. It's whatever. I don't like using it, but I don't know. I just wish there was another way without it. Oh, filled up on wood. Tough. I didn't know that was coming. That's alright. Down in for pepper, man. Forget how much time this takes. You can also get rid of the sugarcane farm too that we have here. It's like completely worthless now that we have the automatic sugarcane farm. It doesn't produce like anything automatically, which yeah, no shit. And it's kind of in the way of the existing enchantment setup that I have, so we'll also have to take some time to renovate that space too. I'm having fun. Thanks for stopping by, AG. I'm mining some trees. I need wood. I need a lot of wood all the time. I might just set this on fire. I don't know if I really need to mine all this. But it would be kind of a waste to just burn it all, so we'll power through it. I'm sure it'll be fine. dark oak. All I gotta do is get the pale oak, and we never have to replant this again. Should basically be everything. All the saplings, of course. There may be a log up here still. Yeah. Alright, so with something like this, we'll eventually clear out the entire sugarcane farm in this whole area too, since this isn't really useful. And we'll keep the path though, obviously. Keep some of the water features that are back here that we built however long ago. Always nice to have. But I don't really have a whole lot of use for this space, except down the line we'll like carve a path that goes straight through the mountainside, so we can get in the back way, but otherwise all this area is just kind of, what, you know, some empty land. I can build some cool buildings back here. Maybe some more of the larger automatic farms that can't really fit up in like our main area can come down here since this is pretty close and like well secured. So that's pretty much the only potential this stuff has, but otherwise, you know, I'm fine with what I've done for right now. But otherwise, we're going to go down tree by tree and cut all these down. the saplings intact, try and save as many as we can. Don't really need that many spruce saplings though, since that whole like plateau that we built is already full. Okay, you never know. Huh, that's weird. Apparently there's a cave nearby that I never lit up. Probably underground, as most caves are, but, you know, you don't actually have to dig for it. Alright, last tree. Trying to get these all done. It's been months since I've cut any of these down. And we'll uproot all of the bamboo as well. So that here. Cool, we got every single tree cut down. And all the wood. Just right. A couple apples in there, that's always nice. And we got a couple of extra sticks I guess we could take back. Maybe a couple too many. Hard landing there. That's alright. Okay, should have a box that's just a bunch of sticks. Yep, there we go. Alright. And then a bunch of the different logs. So mainly spruce. There we go. With a little bit of oak. Yep. And then birch, acacia, dark oak, pale oak. Birch, acacia, that's cherry. Oh, we haven't made one for Dark Oak yet. Huh, how odd. All those away too. I guess by default, that becomes our Dark Oak box since there's nothing left in it. There goes Dark Oak. There's Pale Oak. Cool, and the rest of this is Nether related, so this is going in here. Um, yeah, we'll do a little something like that. Alright, so there's our netherrack. Brass. Alright, I need a couple of extra empty boxes. Basically out though, so a little annoying. There's our Nylium. There's our roots. There's our vines. And there's our other Nylium. Nether brick stairs can go over there. Okay, cool. So we're still keeping up pretty well in our organization here, not doing too bad. I do, however, need to grab a couple of extra chests. So it looks like we'll pop back up to the food section and go make some. Check on our iron while we're at it too. Still doing good, still making iron. It's always nice. Might also be overflowing, not yet, but we are getting close to overflowing on bamboo. Alright, so that should make 2 stacks of chests. There we go. Okay. Here we go. We'll do a little something like that. wonder what I did with all the extra chips. Unless I already used all of them. Yeah, I could see that happening. Alright, well, no matter. Oh, there they are. We'll leave them in there for now since we're still kind of, eventually can work on that box, but, you know, not for a while. Not in a way that matters. Just realized we still have to clear all that out at some point. I'm sure it'll be okay. Alright, anyways. Now we got everything cleared out. Still got our nice little forest here. Still need to plant a bunch of trees, but we do at least have enough to get started. We should have grabbed those extra dark oak and pale oak saplings. Keep forgetting what they're called. I don't know why I wanted to call them weeping oak, but you know what I mean. Grab them. We'll also do some cleanup and put away some of this extra mess since we don't really need a lot of this anymore. So sugarcane's going to be completely destroyed. We'll turn all this to paper and use it to restock our firewood box. That'll be a good idea. And that'll get destroyed. Looks like we missed a log. And we'll put all the bamboo away since this is no longer needed. And even though mushrooms aren't trees, I want a spot to be able to grow tall mushrooms as well, because I think that'd be cool. So what we're going to go ahead and do is, we'll leave that rot. We're going to go out to that mushroom island that we know exists, and I wrote it down in recordance log probably, and I should probably do something with it. Let's not get too sidetracked though, let's do one thing at a time maybe. First things first, saplings. Yes, let's grab all of those. That'll be a good start. We'll pick up whatever else we can here. And there's pretty much nothing else in here that we can get. And we'll take the sugarcane with us to go grab some gunpowder. Put those away in there. Alright, cool. Maybe getting a little full here as well. I don't know, they're keeping up pretty well. That's always good. We'll do that. There we go. So that restocked us pretty well on fireworks, just that little bit of sugar cane. Tuck all that away. Take that back. Back. And this one's back. Alright, nice. So now what we'll go ahead and do is we'll plant as many of these dark oak and pale oaks as we can. planted to about there. I think that's good. Another thing of dark oak. It's too close. And we'll do like one more there, but otherwise that should be enough. Yeah, there we go. That should be pretty good. The tree tops of the nether trees as well. That's always nice. And otherwise, we're gonna pop back over to our ender chest. Uh-oh. There it is. Okay, so it appears it does get dark enough for... Why? It does get dark enough for things to spawn in here. Which is a bit of an issue that we will have to cover. So for right now, we can do torch spam, and then I think we can do moss carpet on top of torches to kind of blend it in a little bit. We'll see what happens there. But yeah, cherry trees with how dense they are, that's gonna be bound to cause some issues, I guess, which makes enough sense, but still means we're gonna have to figure something out at some point. It is so weird that these ones won't really grow at all. There's definitely enough space for them too, but they just don't want to. I get those not growing in some of these other ones, but those ones in the back, I don't know if they're far enough away. They shouldn't have any issues. Try that one. See, there's even a skeleton in there too. Oh, I know there was one because I just seen him. Maybe it was you or Brian. Ooh, he's gonna get me, but nah. Let's see here. Pale oak and dark oak. There's our leftover pale. There's our leftover dark oak. And yeah, we've only got a very tiny handful left of ones that we need to grow. Those being jungle, acacia, mangrove. So yeah, but I just saw a zombie there. I did. Looks like the lack of lighting is going to be a repeat problem here. Especially since I've done such a good job lighting up all the caves, we're going to have to mitigate some of that in the near future. So who knows? We'll have to think about how we want to go about solving that issue, but we are going to have to solve it. You for real? We got one jungle sapling out of that? Come on, man. It's Fortune 3 now. So many of them. That's not good. I mean, otherwise everything else is pretty well put away, so yeah. We'll let that stuff grow, and I'm gonna take this opportunity to go get some moss carpet. Our moss farm hasn't run forever, but it has run long enough that we should have a nice solid chunk of carpet that we can pull from. Here we go. Now this is what we want to see right now. And we'll go sleep. Okay. Also go restock on bone blocks because we need to do that. And go take whatever is in the iron farm. That is a shit ton of iron, good lord. And hey, a nice little chunk of bone too. So altogether that puts us at over a stack again. It's always neat. And again, I'm pretty sure this will work, but I haven't had to do this yet. Whoops. Yep, perfect. Okay, so we know what we want to do. We are headed the wrong way. So I guess the question becomes, how do we want to do this? Do we want to have grid lighting to have consistency, or do we want to go a little wild here and just place it wherever there's some kind of dark patch? And I think we want to do grid lighting. You know, we're gonna pick a good coordinate to start at. That's gonna make relative sense. And then maybe like every 10 blocks or so. Can I see my targeted block? Okay, so notice how our targeted block digits end in 0. That's what we're aiming for. So we'll line the path with this torch trick. For 10 blocks. Except for here, because I want this to be centered on this, because I can do that. Go. Alright, and then we're pretty much just gonna match it up on both ends for right now. That way at least the general path is gonna be well lit up here. Also want to keep an eye out for any creepers, because while we do have full armor, we won't die. It's gonna wreck the shit out of my path if they get involved, and I would prefer not to have to rebuild this whole thing. So yeah, let's just try and be a little aware. Cool. So that at least get us started. And basically every digit that ends in zero, we're gonna have to down a nice little bit of lighting. Oh, creeper. Alright. Should also get our bow back out. It's not too think too hard about it. It's kind of nighttime here pretty soon, so we should be able to get a good look at this whole dark forest area. I think we're in a pretty good place with it. I think there's still more lighting to be done, but this is at least enough to kind of get us started here. stuff. Basically, we'll try and be as even patterned as we can. So we've got space to be even patterned, and then we'll kind of fit around what we have. Let's see here. Let's get our wind, let's get our electro. And yeah, that makes a huge difference. So yeah, the dark oak section is pretty much done. Wouldn't have to worry about anything spawning in there at all. I mean, we have stuff at the edge of it, but that's kind of that's a different problem that we get to solve another time. Because for now, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and sleep and repeat the same thing on our other existing forest. And then we will probably call it there because it's been 2.5 hours, so you know, doing about 3 hours worth, that should be fine. Shouldn't have to really do too much, so that's good. That should have also despawned everything, which is obviously nice too. Let's try and get this back on track. Anyways, that's annoying. It does get pretty dark in here, damn. Alright. Oops. There we go. Oh yeah, sometimes when the trees grow, because they're near flowers, they have a chance to spawn out Venus. That's always cool. So if we ever need more bees, we can get a bunch pretty easily. also do some of this. Okay, so that should cover the birch and cherry forest pretty well. At least that'll get us started. Actually, where all the dark stuff spawns. They get shot here in a moment. Here we are. If you start running, don't you? You know you're gonna die. A lot of oak to cut down if we actually want to get anywhere. Okay, that's nice. pretty close. All right, cool. Yeah. So we go ahead and take another flyover. Should see that. Oh, I guess everything except for the spruce forest is lit up. Let's maybe do something about this. Nope. We'll come back to that part a little later because I don't want to risk blowing anything up. But otherwise, all of our main tree planting spots have some good amount of lighting. So during the daytime, we shouldn't have to deal with any spawns. And you know, we'll keep stretching this lighting out as time goes on too. And eventually, it's going to find its way all the way around this whole area. So this whole mountain area is going to be lit up. Looks like the mangrove tree does grow on its own, which is nice. Place it above water, I'm pretty sure, so that shouldn't be an issue. But we're gonna do more lighting next time. I feel like we've done enough for right now. I don't really need to go any further with what we've done. No great need for it anyway. So yeah, not bad. We got the entire forest fully planted in and most of the lighting done. So can't really complain too hard about that. That being said, here on day 813, thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you all again next time. Bye bye.